The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Mid-Carolina Service Company.
Mid-Carolina Service Company is the first name to search for your residential or commercial HVAC needs in Lexington and surrounding areas.
Just go holler at Jason and Clint. They'll hook you up on the air conditioners, on the restaurant equipment, refrigerators, refrigeration, ice machine repair. They've been doing this for years. I know them cats forever.
Family owned and operated since 2006, they pride themselves in their quality work and customer relationships. Call 803-356-4153 or visit midcarolinaserviceco.com for a no obligation quote for service today.
The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by True Brilliance Entertainment.
True Brilliance is a production, promotions, and management company dedicated to connecting artists and producers across the Carolinas to music industry professionals.
Several of their clients have placements both domestic and internationally as a result of their services.
Are you an artist or producer looking to build meaningful relationships within the music industry? Then True Brilliance is for you. Check them out at paramilitary.com. That's spelled P-A-I-R-A military.com.
This episode of the Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Bob's. Bob's is a Columbia-based retailer of over 100 Black-owned products from 20 Black-owned businesses. Bob's offers a wide range of items from household cleaning, cosmetics, and everything in between. With every visit to Bob's, you support Black-owned businesses, giving them the opportunity to grow and establish connections with our community. Bob's is located inside the Noma warehouse at 2222 Sumter Street in Columbia, South Carolina. Visit their website, weshopbobs.com for in-store pickup or to find out more. Bob's can also be found via social media on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at weshopbobs. When you stop by, tell them the Hilltop Glove sent you. Bob's brings quality Black brands to the Columbia community. The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Red Rooster Sports Bar and Grill. Red Rooster is your neighborhood bar and grill serving the best wings, burgers, and baskets in the Met.
Like the amazing food, the bar is always on tap, and there's plenty of screens to watch the big game. Red Rooster is the Midland's premier meetup spot for local car and bike clubs, fraternities, and sororities.
Staff is dedicated to accommodating all kinds of parties and events. If you're looking to catch a game, have a bite, and a drink, look no further than the Red Rooster.
Red Rooster is located at 7500 Wilson Boulevard, Columbia, South Carolina. For more information, visit redroostersportsbar.com or visit them on Facebook and Instagram at Red Rooster Sports Bar. Go where the winners go.
Welcome to the Hilltop Glove Podcast.
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 Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Hilltop Glove Podcast. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Morowa Mosai and R-Dotta. Morowa is a visual artist, model, entrepreneur, and graphic designer in Charleston, South Carolina. She describes herself as Afrocentric and empowered femininity with a focus on women of color. She sells paintings, prints, and handcrafted jewelry on her website, Morowa & Co. R-Dotta is an artist, entrepreneur, and executive producer in Charleston, South Carolina. His 2018 single, Top Notch, introduced the Holy City's rap community to his rich voice and captivating style. In 2019, his debut mixtape, Call Me Dot, is where you really get to see him shine. Lyrically, he sees himself as a writer, storyteller. Together, this newly engaged couple, go ahead, give them some noise. Give them some noise. Yeah, black love, black love. Recently sparked Instagram celebrating their engagement on Valentine's Day at the historic Charleston County Pineapple Fountain. How are you guys doing today?
Wow, that was good.
I'm doing great.
Thanks. We're doing good. Y'all, I promise I am engaged. I just keep forgetting to put my ring on.
She don't love me.
Hey, my wife had the same problem. I forgot my ring today.
You take it off? Y'all take it off?
I have ADHD. If I don't take it off and put it, I gotta put it in a safe place when I do things.
My ring is a fidget.
Oh, really?
My wife got that specifically because I have ADHD.
No, your man. No, your man.
Hey.
That wasn't in the store.
It wasn't. It's also like some cheap stainless steel and such. Nothing fancy. You're
like
gonna
it.
rob me for my ring.
You can play with it.
Exactly. That's good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to update. I'm trying to get some silicone going on. So I hate metal on my skin. So
Facts.
yeah, I just mess with it all the time. I take it off. I leave it off because it feels like it's sticking. But if I get some silicone,
people
I'll be
take
good.
that as like a symbol of your like problem with being bound to marriage and shit. And it's really not. It's just
not.
metal
It's just,
wrapped on your
it's
fingers.
just
Not-
annoying.
you know, I
You
used
forget
to
to put
have
it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I'm getting
like
the
the face.
tattoo.
You getting a tattoo?
Yeah.
Dope. Because
Hey,
all right, I did
that's
this
the way
the
to
other
do
day.
it.
I forgot my ring, and I was at work, and they were messing with me about forgetting my ring. So I just took a Sharpie and I just drew where the
Stop.
ring was. I said, "Yo, get off me, leave me alone. I'm good. I know
We're
where I'm
here.
at." Yeah. So getting it tatted on, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Keeps you from getting this perpetual callus that ends up hitting right there.
I heard about
Wow.
that.
Yeah,
I've
that
heard about
happens.
that. I don't
I
have
don't
it
know
yet.
about that.
Yeah, you gotta be using your hands. You gotta be like building shit. Like you gotta. Yeah. No, I don't. It's from a mouse.
Pushing that mouse hard, not pushing P. Pushing mouse.
Pushing
Get it
mouse.
right,
Well,
baby.
it's
Get it right.
left hand, so it's more like Apple Control Shift. Designer thing.
Yeah.
Pushing
P.
key.
Pushing key.
Pushing
Oh,
key.
all right. That's
I
a
said
new.
that.
Oh.
I'm a rapper.
Get it. That's how you talk about teamwork, make the dream work. Of course, with our podcast, we do have a list of questions that we're going to go down. We're going to try to keep things in order. However, if we do get in a nice little tangent, we're going to ride with it. It's not a problem at all. We always like to begin with this because it's something that makes sense. If you do not know somebody, you need to know the what? Background. So, early beginnings and influences. And just easily put, as creatives, your childhood experiences may be a little different from the average. Can you tell the audience a little bit about your experiences growing up and who or what influenced you to be who you are today? And we'll start with the lady first.
All right. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? First of all, I want to say thank you guys for having me back.
Yes,
I'm really
ma'am.
happy to be here in a room full of all these beautiful, creative people. So really that first question, because it really made me think, I was like, man, how did I become who I am today? And I think my short answer is I had no choice but to be who I am today. And the long answer is I usually tell people, ask me, when did you start painting? When did you start drawing? When did you start doing this? And I usually say as far back, I popped out the womb with a brush and a canvas. Painful for my mom. But no, like ever since I can remember, I've always been trying to create in some way with whatever I had, whether it was I was outside and I'm putting together little sticks and rocks and dirt, or I'm just in class and I'm writing on the corner of my math test or drawing on the corner of my math test because I'm not going to pass it. I have some miss vulnerability.
Give me 10 for effort.
And this is something I talked about with you guys on the last podcast I did with y'all, but thank you for your vulnerability. So I'm going to take a chance and be vulnerable today. I have a math learning disability that I did not find out until last year that I had. A long struggle to graduate college and difficulties with my scholastic career my entire life, right? And then undiagnosed ADHD until college. And I'd always been in like the gifted and honors classes, always stood out from my peers. Then I got to college and shit hit the fan. I was, what do I do? In regards to how I got to where I am today is for my art, I always gravitated towards the thing that brought me the most joy. It's the thing where I felt purpose and passion and safe and love. And I also attributed a lot of it to my parents because they saw that in me as a child. And I'm grateful that they fed that in me. So they got me art supplies. They put me in classes, summer camps and programs. And they never told me any dream that I had was too big.
No.
They always made me think that I could accomplish whatever it is that I wanted to do. And I know everybody doesn't get that. So I appreciate having that because that's hard to find even in just a partner or a spouse. But yeah, support of family and friends. And I had no choice. Even if I didn't have that, I'd be an artist. I had a professor tell me one day, a professor, right? Alex, it's not really realistic. By the way, my name is Alex. Realistic to think that you're going to be a full-time artist and that's going to be a successful.
Fuck off.
That's exactly how I looked at him. I was like, what am I doing here in your class?
Says the one who
Teaches? Yeah.
Fuck off. There's this thing called Instagram and like
You know what they say about those who... Let me stop.
Oh, coaches. I got
Let me stop because there's some great coaches out there. But today I am a full-time artist, graphic designer with an artist residency. Thank y'all. My own art studio, my dream art studio, teaching art classes to a beautiful community of residents. And every day I wake up in a cost-free housing apartment per my residency.
Dope as hell.
Okay?
Oh.
Which just happened this year. And
Wait, I'm sorry. That's reality or that's...
No, this is real. That's
real.
No,
I thought
real
it was
TV.
like a fantasy of like communist China if it wasn't
No, this is my
communist
life.
China.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Work.
Right now. Yeah.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you so much.
Where's the paper? I
Put the paperwork for that. Hell yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so did I answer the question?
Yeah, you're answering. You can continue to answer the question.
Okay, I'm done now. Thank you. It's your turn.
All right, Mr. R-Dotta. So, of course, we didn't have you on the last episode. You were listening in the background. So, we were waiting to bother you because we bothered her. We bothered the hell out of her.
Okay.
So, tonight, man, the mic is yours on this one on the floor. We want to hear everything about you.
Man. I'll be honest with you.
That's what I like to hear. Excellent. So, what about you? What about your upbringings and your start ran you into where you are now? Brought you into the area.
I'm the complete opposite. I suck at arts and crafts. I tell this joke all. It's not a joke. It's actually true. I can't fold a paper hot dog style. It takes me like 3 times to do it. So I was that kid. So instead of being able to make the art, I said, okay, I can write poetry and describe what it's supposed to look like. And then eventually it turned into rap. My mom helped influence me a whole lot as far as like with rapping because she gave me certain CDs to listen to. So I attribute Chuck D from Public Enemy and Run DMC for teaching me how to rap.
I like that.
And LL Cool J, my bad. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, shoot. You better stop playing with me like that. Go ahead. Keep talking.
It just one day, and I think I was in 5th or 6th grade, I wrote a rap, my first rap. I remember it, but whatever. Anyway, this kid, Trail from Ponderosa, man, he saw me writing it, and he read it, and he said, oh, that's hard. I never stopped.
Wow. Where are you from?
West Ashley, Charleston.
Dope. All right. So Miss Morowa, are you also from Charleston?
Nah, I'm a military kid. I'm not exactly sure where I'm from.
Oh, gosh. See, this is what I remember touching on the last one. So this is interesting.
What branch was your family in?
Yeah.
What branch was your family?
Army. Okay. Yeah, so I've lived a few places up and down and as soon as I say this, y'all gonna be like, man, you from there. I've lived in Summer. I've lived in the Charleston area for about 14, 15 years.
Okay.
You from there?
Say it again. I'm about to say how we get y'all together.
But that's the difference between a military family is like that mindset is like you're not.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're here for 10 years. We're going to go tomorrow.
You about to get up and go somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, my dad was in the military. They didn't stay married for a long time. But my dad was in the military too. I spent time in Fort Hood, Texas. I'm not from Fort Hood, Texas. I'm from West Ashley.
Yes.
All right.
And I got to ask because you do not have that typical accent that our West Ashley.
You got to get me mad.
All right, so y'all do not get R-Dotta mad in here. He'll go to that Geechee water.
Where are you from, bro?
Yo, you right.
Where you from, and what?
I'm from nowhere.
Huh?
Nowhere and everywhere. Nowhere, everywhere. Yeah, so I moved around a lot too.
Y'all boy gonna stop playing with me.
There it is. But yeah, because of course I lived in Charleston. I worked in the Charleston scene and the food and beverage scene as well as in the creative arts scene. And so I actually ran by you before. Yeah, but we didn't know each other at the time. Oh. So yeah, this is why this was interesting. When my brother brought this up, he said, hey, do you know who this person is? I was like, yeah, I know that name. I worked around the person, beside the person, behind the person, but never in front of the person. So yeah, that's why I was interested when he brought that up. Yeah, it's a very small world. And so we always try to reach out to folks that we've known that we've either ran by or touched because there's something that we can pick up from everybody. Now, just building on this journey that you all had to the point where you're at now, especially being in a relationship as creatives, I think this is very interesting, especially in the town that y'all are coming out of. How did you all meet?
Yeah, I'll start. We met in college at Charleston Southern University.
Now Buccaneers, right?
Yeah. And we both, I think he saw me first.
Don't go there.
He saw me first. I'll let you tell that story.
Go ahead.
You better tell it right.
Okay, so I thought you was giving me the mic. My bad.
That's what marriage is. You just pass it off hot. You ain't got any prep. You just gotta go.
Real quick.
She passed it and told me to hold on. I was like,
I'm gonna forget if I don't make a note and then come back. Just real quick, we both joined the Blackest Club on campus. African American Society.
Wait, what?
I restarted it. I didn't join.
Restarted it. I joined and then I ended up being vice president or something.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Yeah, we were conspiracy theorists in college and that's pretty much how we connected.
Clap for the conspiracy theorists. Clap for them because they're batting 1,000 right now.
It wasn't so much of a
Batting 1,000.
conspiracy because everything that we talked about came to fruition.
Came to fruition. That's what I'm saying. We're batting 1,000.
There is so much conspiracy out there right now. No. So much of how the actual world is run is what we theorized about as conspiracy in the early 2000s. And that's just what it was.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You ain't bullshit.
Yes.
And we derived that from the idea of what they did before that.
Yeah.
Which is exactly the same fucking shit that they did before that.
History repeats itself.
It's called a system.
That's all it does.
Systems. Yes, I agree. And so that was a good reason to start it back.
Conspiracies are not conspiracies, they're real. Except for the ones that are crazy.
Yeah. All right, continue.
And they're real too.
So just a vulnerable moment. I dropped out of college twice. So the first time I dropped out of college, I went back again. In my first day there, I was with my homie who was still in college from the first time I dropped out. And we're standing in the cafeteria. I see this girl walking through the door, and I turned to him. I said, bro, I'm in trouble. I had a girlfriend at the time.
Wow, he sounded like New Edition back in the day.
But it's like a beam coming out of some other part of the existence.
Yeah, this girl walks in, has a big afro, black pants, a green.
Yo, he remembers what you
green
wore.
windbreaker and stuff on. Yeah,
Lord Jesus.
And I said, yo, who's that? He said, oh, that's Alex. Yeah, you probably like her, man. She's pro-black and everything, and fight the power and blah blah. I said, yo, I'm in trouble, man.
Done.
So that's how I went
Surrender.
down.
White flag. Let's go.
All right. That's actually remember the day.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
it's,
it was crazy.
From another level of things.
But
Yeah.
I say this even about meeting her. Like, okay, so she went to Somerville. I graduated from Fort Dorchester.
Okay. Rivals.
So she ran track. I did the field because I'm not gonna run too much.
What you doing, Phil?
Shot put, disc. I wasn't
No
good
wonder
at it.
you look
Shot
like you
put,
look like
discus,
you got the.
I was there for participation. I wasn't good at it. I'm a football player.
Oh, so in the spring instead of doing I remember I used to do that too.
But anyways, I would have to see her like Wednesday meets or whatever.
Yeah.
We never met. One of
Damn.
her friends graduated from high school, and this is during my hot boy era.
Hot boy summers.
I meet this girl on Twitter, and I'm just talking to her or whatever because she's graduating. So I'm trying to come through to the high school graduation party or whatever. A lot of my friends and some of my friends were friends of hers. This is the same year she graduated. She actually knows the girl. I show up to the party. This is after years of finding out. I show up to the party like an hour or two after she left.
Wow.
Got to college, went to the same college. I dropped out of college the year that she got into college.
Wow. Oh, you were trying to avoid
That's when I
her.
met her. Yeah.
Y'all telling us that karma was trying to put y'all together.
It's crazy, man.
Shit. Yeah, right?
It's crazy.
This is stranger than true.
Motherfucker, ain't it?
All right, yo, this is wild.
And
Okay.
then we dated for 2 weeks and broke up.
Really? Okay. Yes. Okay, talking about relationships
That's how you know.
raise the bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of insight. God
Yeah,
damn
yeah,
it. We
yeah.
should have been talking to him first.
That's crazy.
So we got visual and verbal.
Yeah.
This is
I
interesting.
can make graphics too, though. But
Okay.
it's just, don't ask me to, you just gonna get glue and glitter.
Yeah.
Sure, I work with a mouse every day.
Yeah.
It's not that.
Hand-eye coordination.
But you know what?
Hand-eye coordination.
Eventually that shit compounds and I've got to sit there with some glue and a little bit of like gold leaf and sit there and make a stick shine.
Hey,
For
you gotta
real.
do what you gotta do. You gotta make it work.
And I write poetry too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So they blend. They blend. It's crossover.
We got a little crossover.
Yeah, there's a little crossover. So this leads directly into the next question. Some believe that dating an artist is hard. They are unconventional and not interested in pleasing society's norms. Can you tell us some of the misconceptions that you face since you both are artists in your, of course, own very distinct ways in a relationship?
I'll go. So I would say this is the easiest relationship I've ever been in.
I'll be chilling, man.
What'd you say?
I'll be chilling.
He do be chilling.
I didn't mean to hit that sound. I apologize. I apologize.
We need some positive shit here.
I was trying to give y'all some hand claps.
It's a celebrate.
Yeah, exactly. If
yeah.
we're emotional and we talk about that shit and we try to express it in some way, we can express it together. That's
there you
amazing.
go. There you go. That's what we want. That's what we want. That's what we want. That's what we want.
Okay, I didn't know if you were trying to play.
No, I ain't gonna play you. I ain't gonna play you. I'm sorry.
No, you good. So yeah, I would say this is the easiest relationship I've ever been in because I've always been a hustler. Like in college, I was working 4 jobs and then I decided to start my business and I was still going to school full time, doing paint parties here and there, taking commissions. I would throw a Black History Month program annually. And so I was like a busy person in college. I was very involved on campus. Like I led one dance team, was a part of another, was in another club. Like I was doing a lot. And everybody that I dated or talked to in college, and even before, always was like intimidated by me. Like even people that I didn't get serious with, they were like,
there's a word for that.
You're doing a lot of shit.
It is a word.
For real.
yeah, like I was a busy person and they would be, and instead of supporting me, like I had boyfriends that didn't even come to any of my shows, my art shows or events.
Damn.
And they'd be intimidated or either jealous. And then it turned into, okay, you're not doing this enough or we don't ever spend time together. And I'm like, okay, but this is my business. I just never got any support from that. And then because they weren't a creative, they didn't understand that hustle side of me. They didn't understand that boss side of me. They didn't have that drive and that passion like I had. So they couldn't understand me. But with Rashad, he's that.
Yeah.
He does music, and I do art, but it's like we speak the same language, it's just in a different dialect. Like we understand each other and what we're saying. Like he'll play something, he'll be working on a song or he'll write a verse or whatever, and he'll spit it for me and I'll be like, yeah, but do this a little bit, or yeah, I can see that. And then vice versa. I'll be working on some artwork, or I'll make a poster or something, and he'll have his critique for me. And I don't know, it's like the way we feel about our art separately is the same, but we have our different art. Like we feel used sometimes because of our art. We feel hurt and pain because of our art. We feel joy
between each other, or between just people paying you to do the thing.
Just in our different fields and our different worlds
How you
of art.
express it.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's part of the art thing. Is if you're doing art, it's definitely like pouring of yourself.
It's a soul. It's a soul. It's spiritual experience.
So whoever making money off of that,
up and down of confidence.
But we understand. Like I've never had a person that understood that side of me, could speak that language with me, and like we feed each other in that way. So he's not. I'm a powerful woman, and that's just what I know and believe about myself. And
man, that's so dope. Go ahead, y'all.
And I heard earlier y'all were talking about, do you believe that a man should be leader of the relationship or head of the household? I grew up, so I might have a different perspective. I grew up in church. I'm a PK, y'all. I'm a PK. But I have some different views about the church today. I've always seen that a man was the head of the household, and it was always taught to me a certain way. You mentioned that, like it's focusing on what the woman needs to do and a woman needs to submit and this, that, and the other. I've never understood those verses to mean that.
Wait. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Continue first. Continue. Finish your point.
I've never understood it to be that way. I believe in order for... Okay, so I'm going to get a little biblical. The scripture says what is it? Love your wife as...
Love your wife the way that Jesus loved the church.
Love the church.
This portion of the podcast is brought to you by Lynx Recording Studio. Lynx is a premier audio and video recording studio in the greater Charleston area. With 4 completely different booths, multiple peripherals, and 4 producers, they have the ability to service all facets of audio and video creativity. If you need to record a song, a podcast, create a demo, or even take headshots and complete drops for a Hollywood film, we've done it. Call us at 843-879-9386 or search us online at lynxrecordingstudios.com. That's LYNX recordingstudios.com.
Okay. Jesus died for the church. He dedicated his life for the church, okay? When we're talking about submission, it is not a power over or lording over of anybody. Submission is mutual submission. In the same breath that it's saying women submit unto your husbands, it's saying husbands submit unto your wives.
It does.
It's a partnership. It's equal.
Read the
right?
2 verses before
and
that
I've
one.
always,
Drop down. Yep, sure is.
And so I've always felt like Before me and Rashad got back together, because like he said, we dated for 2 weeks. And then it was just years of me and just terrible relationships. I went through the mud.
I was chilling.
He was chilling. He was chilling, but I appreciated him. Like, it was better when we got back together. But no one could approach me with anything that I didn't already have. I didn't want anyone's money. I made my own money. There was nothing you had that I couldn't get for myself. And so when men approach me, especially like even older men, they were like, oh, I can bring so much to you. We can be a power couple. We can do this. And I'm like, no, I'm good. But how can you add to my life? Because you're stressing me out. I don't need to deal with this.
Hold on, wait. Pause for a sec. Fellas in the audience, have y'all ever had a woman come up to you and tell you what she can add to your career and your life? And is that a thing that happened? It never happened to me.
He said, nah. This brother right here says, nah.
No, I ain't never had that.
Am I the only woman who's had a man come to them like, yeah, we can do this together and I can bring this to you and I got
she's the only one? All right, this check guy. Sorry. All right, go ahead. Tell us quick poll.
There's
Surveys.
a word for that.
It's your favorite word?
Bitches.
God, it's a great word. I'm sorry.
And I don't call women that. 80s. I just only call guys that.
He really only use it for men.
Way more.
There you go.
Yo, that's actually good ass point. God damn, that's a good ass point.
Just saying.
I'm gonna take that. I like that. God damn, I like that. All right. So I have a question before you jump.
My bad. I'll talk all day.
So
she will.
Did you all dating for 2 weeks, leaving, and then coming back together? Did that strengthen you all's resolve in the second attempt? Because you had the chance to be together once, and then you all had the chance to be apart, see other people, etc., whatever you wanted to do. When you all came back, did it strengthen your resolve to say, hey, we're going to make this relationship work? I think we are meant to be together.
Yeah, because it was stupid, man. So what was that? It was 2016 or something like that. And in between that time until 2019, we'd still like see each other, not dating, but like we'd get in contact some kind of way. Not that it was ever anything physical or anything like that. But we just get in contact some kind of way. It was a point in time where we talked again for a week, and then I ghosted her. I did.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? But like, the last time in 2019, it was just like, hey, let's just be real with each other, man. Like,
right. It's when you know.
Yeah, when you know.
Yeah.
But I think it took some kind of maturity.
Yeah. This lightning will come out of fucking space and hit you in the fucking head. And
that's literally what happened.
Right. You spend like a few weeks being like, nah. That's bullshit. Yeah. That's fucking bullshit. It's not like that. That's Mike. Not the one.
Nah, because she's like half Caribbean, right? She's half Caribbean. So I worked at a school.
Okay, girl.
Oh, my Lord Jesus. What just happened?
I like girls.
I worked at a school and like the supervisor, the janitors is like half Haitian, half Jamaican. I said, yo, man, she from the West Indies or whatever. I said, think she put a root on me or something?
Good. No. That's what happened with my wife. I try to avoid her. I try to leave her in the dust. I try to
like
not go to parties that she was at with a root. And then I ate some food she made.
I was like,
over.
this is crazy.
Yeah,
I don't ever eat the spaghetti.
Never. Don't.
The red rice.
But I mean, it'd be good sometimes, though.
That's how we know that we are not supposed to be solo individuals in existence. Like whatever you believe about dualism, non-dualism. Sorry, I ain't gonna go too far down the rabbit hole right now.
But I see where you're coming from.
Tune into podcast. But by the way, we are not intended to be solo individuals. The interaction that happens between us, the interaction that happens between the idea of nurturing and the idea of fucking I can change the world.
Yeah.
Like that shit, that point, and whether who holds what parts of that puzzle piece is irrelevant.
Yep.
There are interactions that happen between people.
That's true. Hey, I want to do this real quick when I have a chance. Because I seen my man did it earlier. It was the dopest thing I seen. Yo, could I get, from the bar, man, have another white tie? That's dope. I ain't never did that in my life. I just had to get that out there. Bucket list, y'all. Bucket list.
Curiosity.
Kevin, do not edit this out of the fucking drinking in Colombia in front of people.
It's legal, y'all. It's legal.
Legal.
We ain't outside.
Curiosity.
On the sidewalk. Curiosity Coffee.
27 Main Street.
Say it again.
Columbia, South Carolina. Curity.
There we go.
Curiosity Coffee Bar.
We need to do one of these down at the dispensary in Charleston.
Yeah. That's something else. We'll talk about that later.
That'll be cool.
However, and y'all could, that'd be dope.
Hey.
That'd be extra dope.
Yeah.
Again, as creatives, I know it's almost like a genius mindset where you have this situation where you're in a relationship, but you also need your own time to build, relax, restore yourself so that you can be creative.
Add a child in the mix.
Yeah. Oh, my Lord. That makes it even more difficult. This is what my fellow podcasters are dealing with.
My house is 900 square feet. Figure that shit out.
God damn.
3 dogs, 2 adults, a child who might or might not be also an adult.
Yes. It depends on what's going on. This is a strong question. And of course, you got a chance to read this, but do you need time away from each other to create?
Yes.
Yeah.
Speak on it.
You have a studio?
Yeah.
I have my art studio, and
off-site or in the same space?
listen now, with my residency, it's across the parking lot from me.
Real?
I got 24-hour access.
Holla if you hear me.
All right. But yeah, someone asked us if we ever collaborated. We haven't. And we were surprised to hear our own answer to that because it makes sense at this point, right? It's because when we create separately, like we create in our own spaces. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but
no, it's beautiful.
Our creativity is like
beautiful.
It's your process.
It's our one soul. When I'm doing my art, I'm pouring my heart out. But the thing is, we do it separately, but we can also be in the same space, but separate, right?
Because the inputs are merging, but you the filter of the thing that it's that.
Yeah.
Right.
And the thing is, I'm happy to be painting and whatever or creating, and he'll be next to me like playing video games or doing whatever, and vice versa. Like he'll be working on his like raps or writing some verses, listening to beats, and I'll be like watching TV or cooking something. We're never like
we can't create at the same time.
Nah,
seriously,
I think our
that's
creative
interesting.
environment have to be different.
Creating at the same time is a whole nother, man, that's an energy vortex. Like
y'all probably burn the building down.
There are skills involved in doing that.
It'd be like Goosebumps.
She's saying while she's doing something, I'm playing the game or whatever. But that's a part of my creative process because while I'm playing, I'm probably
that's how you're relaxing.
Because I don't actually write my raps out. I just think them in my head. So,
God damn.
But I can't.
God damn. Bravo.
It just comes in waves. Like I can't just sit around with her while she's painting and I'm just, I think I'm gonna listen to this beat and just start. I can't do it.
It doesn't.
It's not my space.
So you can't force the creation. That's what you're saying.
I can force it, but it has to be. It just has to feel right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, yeah.
I can't explain it.
No, it's like
physical space.
Right.
Yeah.
But it has to be your time to do it, not her time to do it.
Because it could be like a lot of noise or whatever going on. I still could come up with something.
I can totally see that though. Like that's the way it happens when you like when it comes on you.
I look at it as a spiritual thing.
It is. It's a spiritual thing. It's
Right.
like I just gotta
get
it out, and it got nothing to do with him.
And
what he got going on ain't got nothing to do with me. That's like between him and his creativity and whatever is guiding him to whatever he's creating. And I feel the same way. It's like he's not a part of that. It's me and my craft.
And you all allow each other space and room.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not much of a talker.
Yeah.
Alice is a talker in person.
Yeah.
We don't really talk to each other throughout the day. It's only when we're in person for the most part. Yeah.
We like
so this
to
is dope.
I texted. If you've DM'd me recently, I'm sorry. I probably won't answer you again for another week. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't really text back. We don't like talking on the phone too much.
So like your day to day, are you working on like work immediately? Are you sitting there like working on things immediately?
Or is it like as soon as I
expanding the brain first and
as soon as I wake up, it's usually something in my head. Whether it's an old rap, if I can come up with something new if I want to, but it doesn't feel right a lot of times coming up with something new until the old one comes out. Because it might sound crazy, but I have a song right now that I haven't released yet, and when people aren't playing it, granted the song isn't out, people aren't playing it. And a part of me like, yo, why the fuck y'all not playing my music? It's not out.
Oh, I see. So like the interaction that you doing back and forth is with the crowd, and so you can't say the next line until
they know what's going on.
Back.
Yeah.
But
that
in my
makes
head,
sense.
it's like I feel like people should know the new song and they don't. But it really is because I haven't put it out. So my day to day is waking up. I gotta figure out how to drop this song. Why people ain't listening to this? Oh yeah, it's not out.
Yep.
Yeah, just keep a circle and I was like, all right, we got to keep building something else in order for this song to come out.
So your day-to-day is like the logistics of actually producing. And then when you find yourself in a space where I'm like, I need to do this thing, then you make that space exist within.
That's interesting.
Whenever I go record music, like I might record a whole project. I recorded a whole project in a day. The song comes out 2 weeks later. The project comes out 2 weeks later. I can't hold on to it.
So you have to make sure you deliver that. You know what it sounds like? It kind of sounds like it's like how the Book of Revelation was written. My man just basically
every fucking thing that has ever mattered ever.
He had to put it out.
That's why we listen to live recordings, is because you can't reproduce that fucking shit again.
That's true.
You can't go in the studio and be like,
yep. That's why we like Young Thug.
And I don't listen to the song after I put it out. I don't like it after I listen to it, but I have to clear my brain and create something new.
That's dope. I like how you explain that.
I feel the same way about my artwork too.
Yeah.
It's like when it hits me, it's like I will go into my studio, I'll paint for hours. I won't eat. Right. I won't stop. Yeah. I'm just painting, and then all of a sudden the day is gone, and I gotta go to the bathroom, and I'm starving, and I'm like, oh, and this thing,
you a conduit,
right? Yes,
that muse hits you, man. It smacks you.
This painting is sitting in front of me, and I'm just like,
how did it get there?
How did I do that? Who did that?
But isn't that the amazing part of it?
And then I'm like, I hate it.
Oh Lord,
exactly.
Seriously?
I don't like my songs after I record
right?
it. I don't like it.
Absolutely. Dang. Nothing I have ever done have I ever liked. Like anything I do creatively, like I'm like,
is this good? Is it not good?
Fuck you for liking it.
Even though it's your baby,
you are
it's my
shit.
It's for me. I don't like it.
What I hate about this.
I think
but it's your baby.
It goes back to the spirit.
It's not my baby.
It's our baby.
It's a thing that dominated my brain, and I couldn't fucking breathe until it exited.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That sounds like a baby.
I have made art when I was in love, and it did not feel like that.
Wow.
But most of my interaction with art has been, there's a thing that I have to birth.
True.
And I didn't make it. I didn't decide to do this.
It came.
I told you to pull out. And this is what I got. And here we go.
And here it is.
That's why I say I believe it's a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
We talked about God, so I'm assuming that
go ahead. God, free all day, brother.
All of our talents and gifts.
All kind of levels.
I think you could get good at something, but a gift and a talent is obvious to people. Like I don't practice. I didn't necessarily have to practice football to be good at it. It was a talent. I didn't necessarily have to practice rap to be good at it. It was a talent. It was a gift for me.
Yeah. It's just utilizing it.
So when we go and create something, I'll before I come up with music or whatever, no matter how it sounds, I know I use a lot of profanity or whatever, but say it's God giving me this.
I'll say like this. Look, I'm going to say this. In the Bible, don't let me start. Murders, wars, children being, it's wild. So I feel where you're coming from.
I'm not going to use the King James to justify my current reality. I'm sorry.
I say that to say this. I believe it's God using you, and we're only humans.
That's it.
So whenever we put this out, we don't like it because it wasn't us putting it together. We don't. What's it called? We have carnal vision.
Yeah, Darren, that's a good. That's a good point. That wasn't you doing it. It was working through you.
There's no way I could have thought about some of the things I've said.
You're being used. So I have all right, there's two things I want to touch on before we finish. We're running low on time, but very quickly, I want y'all to touch on this because this is something that we always touch on with our podcast and with a new endeavor that we're working on, which is Create, is support. So, as an artist...
We'll do this and then we'll do a shout out for Create.
We got to do this.
I just realized that we were actually in front of people again, and I felt like I needed to promote.
Yes, we must promote. You must promote. So, as an artist, gaining support from the community, friends, and family is common. But how do you guys show up for each other, and what does that look like for you all? Are there times when you cannot make it to an important event for each other, and how do you overcome those obstacles? I want to touch on this for about a minute for both you all, and then we'll get ready to wrap up.
Ask that one more time.
So, like, the support that you get support from the community, cool, right? But for each other, since you are each are creatives, how do you all deal with the inability sometimes to support each other, i.e., I can't make it to Morowa's gallery opening today, or, hey, I can't make it to R-Dotta show tonight. How do you all deal with that?
I spent all of my fucking mental energy dealing with the shit that I was fucking with today.
Yeah, and he can't.
And
make
I ain't
it.
got shit for you. I'm sorry.
I just try to support another. If I can't be there physically, I'll just support in a different way. Like I said earlier, me and the artist, you go through ups and downs of confidence. Like whether me posting something of hers on my story or whatever, even if I don't post myself, or I can, like I said, if I can't be there physically, and I notice her confidence level might not be where it needs to be at, I give her a little pep talk. Be like, nah, like man, fuck these people, man. Like, you the best out. Stop comparing. No need to compare yourself to other people because who gives a fuck?
Excellent. I like that answer.
Wait,
I like that answer.
Together?
3 years.
Wow.
Plus 2 weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
Plus 2 weeks.
There's always a fucking null space in between.
Yeah.
I
mean, you got to give that.
Me and my wife talk about it all the time. Like, until I was like, wait a damn minute.
This is official.
Wait a damn minute.
This is real.
This is real to me. Is it real to you? What's up with you?
You don't want to be the first one to jump. It's okay to jump in.
You love me or?
But there's things happen in my chest cavity that is not the same as with the other people.
I have feelings. My heart is beating.
Nah,
so for you, Morowa,
I said it.
That was 8 years ago.
I said
for
it
me.
very, very tough about it. And I was like, "Hey, I love you."
Oh, that's what it is.
So, Miss Morowa, for you, how do you deal with not being able to show up to some of his events?
In the same way, if we can't be there physically, we show up for each other emotionally. And so in the same way, he supports me and builds up my confidence. Like he's there for me in the way that I need him to be.
Gotcha.
And I can be there for him in the way that he needs. So I'm strong in the emotion department, right? And that's where I can show up for him.
What's your sign?
I'm a Cancer.
Me too.
That makes sense, don't it? Don't it?
What's your sign, bro?
I'm Aquarius.
Oh, wow.
I'm an Aquarian moon. My wife is an Aquarius.
Shut the front door. All right, no one is
like
weird energy.
when I wake up in the morning, my existence is y'all together in my brain. Just saying.
We'll take it. So, before we wrap up, of course, we usually like to ask about work-life balance, right? I'm going to scratch that tonight. Okay. What I want to do is I want to give you time to do some shameless promotion. Okay. If you can let our audience know what you got going on, what you got coming out with you, and if you can drop those handles for them so they can know how to get in contact with you.
All right.
Go ahead.
So you guys can check out my Instagram, my website, my TikTok, my Twitter. Don't bother me on Twitter. Nobody cares about me on Twitter. Don't even go there. I don't have anything to say.
Does Twitter still exist?
No.
Will it by the time this episode
Twitter is his
airs?
favorite place.
Possibly.
It's his favorite place.
He just blocked everybody that talks shit about him. So you might as well just
Elon Musk.
Yeah. He just blocked all the journalists that talk trash about Elon Musk.
Yeah, I'm going to have to wrap
That's
that up.
crazy.
It may not work.
South Africa.
I got my artwork, some of my artwork back there. I'm a graphic designer, fine artist. If you want to see some of my fine artwork, go ahead and hit up my website, that Morowa Mosai. It's on that little sign back there. Instagram, that's everything. It's all the same. I got some Christmas wrapping paper and some Christmas cards that I made. Black Girl Christmas, y'all. And Excellent. I'll be opening up bookings for paint parties next year. I got all kinds of crap on my website that I'm doing. And I got my artist residency going on currently. And there's some more projects to come in the future.
Can you give them that website one more time?
Yeah, that's MOROWAMOSA.com.
Excellent, because this will be on audio, so we want to make sure they can.
I forgot.
Just in case you thought you had too much going on in December.
What you got?
No, her shit.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I've been doing markets 3 days a weekend.
That is, God darn it. That is, damn, I almost forgot about that. Yes. Yep, almost forgot. All right.
That was a lot of fucking connections.
Yep.
No, that was a lot. Okay.
Now, for Mr. R-Dotta.
No, it's
what you got going?
R-Dotta 843 on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. R-DOTA 843. Y'all, you guys mentioned Call Me Dot. It came out in 2019. I also have I Don't Have Rivals that came out this past September. What's the other project? I've been dropping like a lot of projects this year. 2025, A Hell of an Angel is out, all streaming platforms. 2025 is called, and I Don't Have Rivals on all streaming platforms. Next year, I'm dropping majority singles. Be on the lookout for She's No Angel and Calling My Bluff.
Hey, it must be fire.
Yeah, for sure. What else we got going on? January 7th, I'll be a Royal American for the Rapper of the Year. All the nominees got put on the show. And yeah, man, be on the lookout, man. Again, callmedott.com, CALMEDOTT.com. Keep up. But you could probably catch me more on Instagram and Twitter.
Excellent way to wrap. And man, I just want to thank everybody for joining us here today for these podcasts here at Curiosity Coffee Bar. Everything was dope today. We appreciate you all's hospitality. Y'all the best. Make sure you tip them today. I'm going to go right there and drop me a nice little tip for y'all. But
North Main Street.
As we always do with the Hilltop Glove podcast, it's DJ and what? We got Tamai over there. Mike, Skip ain't with us. And to our esteemed guests, R-Dotta and Miss Morowa. We appreciate y'all joining us here tonight. Everybody, make sure you tell somebody that you love them that's next to you. Leave out here with some peace in your mind. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
That's it for today's episode of the Hilltop Glove Podcast. Make sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and other platforms. Also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Hilltop Glove.